in this episode of
Just the Tip.
So this week's tip, although it has been probably a couple of years since I've given you guys a tip, I am changing for the second time in only 18 months the Selector shaft seal on a Trimatic Holden. Andrea's Tirana has always leaked transmission fluid. And a couple of years ago, maybe 18 months ago, I had Rowan, who was here helping me. He actually replaced the seal on the ground where that AU sits right now, and he done it on jack stands. He had a hell of a time, and it's all to get this tiny little seal out. Now, this is the one that come out of it. It's obviously pretty munted, and it was leaking. Now, after doing a little bit of research, I quickly found out that there is a tool designed and available for the removal of this seal in particular. Now, I do think that most of the GM seals are the same. Like this Trimatic might be the same as like a Turbo 700, Turbo 400, all that stuff, but I don't know. But regardless of that, I feel like it's going to be a very similar method regardless. So I got this tool from TE Tools. I can't remember. I dare say I probably just ordered it online, and Google it, you'll find it. So I had a hell of a time. We're just going to go into here. By the way, I've just moved the Tough Lift hoist from that position, put it on the dollies, the casters, and rolled it over to this bay, and I'm so happy with it where it's sitting. In this bay, it is so much easier to use and frees up space all around the car. Now, you have to bear with me. It's dark, it's winter, it's cold, I'm all rugged up, and we may not be able to see very well in here, but I'll do my best. So the Selector shaft seal sits right up. Oh, you can see what I mean. So right here, that in fact is the tool that I'm talking to you about. This is the Selector cable, and this is the Selector shaft linkage, which I've taken off. You guys can work your way to that point. Now, when it comes to putting this tool in place, which it is going to be so hard to see, guys. You can see the tool just over there. That tool is basically a little hollow socket, and it's got a thread on the end. It knocks in place. It actually knocks in between the Selector shaft and the seal, and then it's got a thread on it, and you're meant to smack it in there and then turn it, and it bites right up, and it will pull that seal out. But the problem is, when you've got a car with extractors on it like this thing has, or even just the header pipe might go right past there and make life really difficult. The only video I had found online was of a transmission out on the bench, and obviously it's super easy to access. You can whack the end of the tool with a hammer, get it seated, give it a few threads in, and then it bites up. But here I was having all sorts of trouble with, as you can see, it's so close to the I'm trying to do my best here, guys. It's so close to the chassis rail here, and you can't get a hammer in there. You're banging between, and it's on the piss. It's a shocking angle. So what I actually done was I went from the bottom, and I was nearly ready to pull the extractor out. That's why I'm telling you guys, I nearly bailed and pulled the extractor out, and it was going to turn into a massive job. But I ended up getting one of these lever bars, and I got in and levered it against the extractor like this. I really hope you can see that. It is very hard because I'm working in my own shadow, but I'm sure you can get the gist of it. So I'll leave it on it like that as I painstakingly threaded in the tool. And when I done the tool threading, I used, once again, hard to get, you can't get a socket on the end of it when you're trying to lever on it. So I used a ratchet spanner, obviously ratcheting the correct way, which worked as a double whammy. Not only did it turn the tool into the seal, it also held it captive. Rather than using the open end, when I was levering on it, it was very wobbly, but this tool held it captive. I could hold it down and keep it aligned as I threaded it in. Now I can't show you that because I've got this tool working and it's just started coming loose when I decided to do this video. So you guys can see it come out the last end of it. But another side note is, if you find that the angle is with the bolt that goes into the back of this tool, if it's too long, I just removed the bolt that comes with it, which is probably 40 mil long, and I put a real short one in there so I could get it, just so I use that as the tool in which to press against. I'm sure you can see it's pressing right on that bolt there, which I temporarily replaced with a smaller bolt. And then once I had it threaded in and I was confident that it was, well, semi-confident that it was biting up, I removed the smaller bolt, I put the larger bolt in, and then once again I used this on the tool to hold it captive so I could control it as I undone the, as I tightened the bolt up. Man, I am terrible at explaining shit. I hope this makes sense. It makes sense to me, but maybe you're getting enough of a hint of what to do if you ever have to do this job yourself, because it's the second time I've had to do it. I don't know why the first one failed. Doesn't matter. We're here again, and let's just see if we can get this thing out. Hey guys, real quickly, jump onto the Iron Empire online store and grab yourself some fresh threads. We have brand new hats, beanies, hoods, new stock, plenty of it, tees as well. Jump on, check it out. I've got to apologize, guys. I think I'm terrible at explaining things, but that is why this is not a tutorial channel, because I am bad at explaining. But I'm on the last legs here, so once again we're going to get this tool turning right, tight, left, loose. All right, we're going to turn this around so it can't. All right, get the socket in on here. Oh, I think that's already. Oh yeah, she's already loose. There you see it, guys. She's right there. There you have it, guys. I'll move into the light. Don't know why this failed. It's not very old. And as you can see, that's the tool. It's just a little hollow socket with a nut in the back of it, with a bolt in the back of it that pushes on the shaft and pulls the seal out. Okay, now just a quick side note. I forgot to mention this little toolkit comes with also this little punch, which basically puts the new seal in. Obviously that has a hole in it, so it sits over the selector shaft and will knock in. It goes in a hell of a lot easier than the old seal will come out. It doesn't need anywhere near as much pressure to bang the seal in as that does to get located. So all I done was put a smear of silicone, like glue compound, whatever you want to use. I used some grey sealant around the outside and then a little smear of some grease on the inside, set it in place and just tapped it, and it went in like butter. So honestly, that side of it's super easy. And this here is the tool in which I was explaining when it's not in the car. Well worth it, makes life easy. Get wrenching. Now I know that this is a very specific tip, but you never know who's going to stumble across this and who it may help. This tool may also be available for other transmissions. I'm sure it is. But yeah, hopefully it helps someone. And once again, this is not a tutorial channel. This is the tip. So we'll see you all on an upcoming episode of
Just the tip.